New at 6, Idaho's booming population, emerging wildlife diseases, and invasive species are reshaping the outdoors. Now, Idaho Fish and Game says it's time to update their strategic plan to be able to keep up. Our Derica Kay is in studio after speaking with Fish and Game. Derica, what does the newly drafted plan consist of exactly?
Well, Idaho Fish and Game's 2026 strategic plan aims to better protect wildlife and manage Idaho's growing outdoor use. But before it becomes final, they're asking the community to give their input.
Chronic wasting disease, quagga mussels, and overcrowding in the wild.
There's certainly been an increase of the number of people out in the wild areas of Idaho. A lot has changed in the last 10 years. You know, our population has grown pretty significantly. We've also seen the introduction of new wildlife disease like CWD.
Idaho Fish and Game says its goal is to reduce invasive species and diseases like CWD.
The goal with CWD is for us to contain it as much as possible so that future generations of hunters and anglers don't have to contend with it as a large problem, but instead as a manageable problem.
That's why the department is drafting a new strategic plan.
The strategic plan is what we use to achieve our mission to preserve, protect, perpetuate, and manage wildlife, which was put into Idaho State Code in 1938.
The 2026 plan is organized by 4 goals: to sustain wildlife and habitats, improve user experience for hunting, improve public understanding and involvement, and to enhance the capacity of the department.
We want to make sure that we're not growing in such a way that we don't preserve our treasures. So we want to have that partnership with the public to make sure that we're doing everything we can to preserve the habitat and make sure that wildlife has a place to continue to live.
Fish and Game is now asking for the community to review and give input on the newly drafted plan.
The amount of habitat we're able to preserve is largely through partnerships, you know, with private entities as well as other public agencies. So we very much want the involvement of the entire Idaho community so that we can try to maximize the amount of wildlife habitat that we preserve.
The public commenting period ends December 19th. That feedback will then be presented to the Idaho Fish and Game Commission in mid-January to ask for approval. You can find the drafted plan on their website at idfg.idaho.gov and on our website at ktvb.com.